from yelling at patients for being ignorant.
There's not much we can do for you. No medically, no surgically. You need to change.
To straight up kicking them off the program.
Just stay up there and do whatever you want. And you don't need to come back down here.
Here are 30 more minutes of Dr. Now shutting down more disrespectful My 600-pound patients. Starting with Lisa Eberson, a 640-pound woman who had not left her bed in years. Making her on-screen debut in the 14th episode of the 10th season, Lisa reached out to Dr. Now for help while being solely dependent on her boyfriend, Randy, who did everything to make her happy, including enabling her eating habit, something Dr. Now hoped to address during one of their first virtual appointments.
Because she asked me not to get it for her.
So if she asks you, you're obligated to bring it to her?
Yes.
What happened if you don't bring it? Is she gonna get up and go get it?
Randy, you have to talk to him because this is important.
Clearly, Randy had a problem with some of Dr. Now's remarks. Although he wanted to help Lisa with her diet, it was easier to feed her than to deal with her tantrums.
This is about saving my life. You can't just not talk to the man. He don't want to talk to you no more.
And this behavior got her a shutdown from Dr. Now, who didn't hesitate to call out both of them.
He doesn't want to stop doing that because he likes to overfeed you for whatever reason, and as long as he brings it to you, then you gotta be in the bed. And if you both aren't willing to stop this unhealthy behavior, nothing is gonna change.
But this wasn't even the worst thing she did. For months, she refused to see any physical therapist or dietitian and completely disregarded Dr. Now's dietary advice, much to the doctor's disappointment.
I think the reality is you're playing games and pretending to be confused.
Of course, fans found her excuses very distasteful and quickly shared their opinion. She was awful. She had no desire to help herself or change in any way. Despite her reservations, Lisa finally agreed to meet with a professional. And her first meeting was with a dietitian, who quickly realized exactly why even Randy, or anyone for that matter, did not want to get on her wrong side.
This is not even what a nutritionist has done. I've seen nutritionists before.
Lisa, this is my specialty of working with people who struggle in their relationship with food. This is what I do.
I don't blame nobody for anything that's happened to me.
Lisa, is part of you afraid of getting help?
Just get away from me.
Okay.
Get the out. Do not ever come back to my house again.
After learning of how Lisa treated the dietitian, Dr. Now decided to send in a physical therapist.
You are not supposed to come this late. I really don't have anything to say to you or anything I want to do. You wasted your time.
Okay.
Lisa's unruly behavior eventually reached Dr. Now. He had been trying for months to make Lisa understand the danger she was in, but after hearing just how unnecessarily rude she had been to his staff, the doctor had no choice but to call her and put her in her place.
Stick with a healthy eating habit, and you need to do your physical therapy.
The one lady that did come, she says I'm too fat and she don't know how to work with me.
That's not what happened. You refused to work with her every time she came, and now you're lying to manipulate the situation. If you want to survive and not be in that bed, you're going to have to do your own part. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that you need to do because you're heading to be a medical disaster pretty soon.
Instead of listening to what the doctor had to say, Lisa remained defensive to the point that she ended up doing something that shocked both Dr. Now and viewers around the world.
I don't really care anymore.
Well, if you don't care, then we can't help you because we can't motivate you. You have to decide to change your life. But I think what you're expecting is for someone else to do the work for you and giving to your manipulation. So Lisa, we've given you everything to change your life, but then you have to do your own part.
What the you gave me? I'm done, goodbye. Here, I'm done.
Lisa had already been frustrating fans with her lack of motivation. She was in non-stop manipulation mode with everyone. But seeing her snap at Dr. Now and other professionals who were there to help her, that behavior did not sit well with some viewers. I feel bad for the therapist and the PT they sent in. It was like throwing them to wolves. In the end, Lisa's situation only worsened. She didn't lose any weight and eventually quit the program. Unfortunately, Lisa isn't the only patient whose disrespectful attitude needed to be shut down before things got out of hand. Another such My 600 Pound star was South Carolina's own Julius Clark, also known as JT, first appeared in the 4th episode of the 8th season and ended up being one of the show's more successful participants, although it didn't seem likely at the start of his journey. Weighing an incredible 892 pounds, JT had a massive lymphedema on his right leg that weighed almost 100 pounds, which prevented him from doing the things he wanted and forced him to depend on his girlfriend's assistance.
First started dating, he could do more. Now I would say pretty much everything JT does I see him struggle with.
Despite reaching out to Dr. Now for help with his weight problem, it was clear that JT had an even more serious problem, his attitude.
If I express those worries to JT, he gets very upset, especially when I try to influence JT's eating habits in any way. So I end up bringing home the fast food and getting what he wants from the store because they don't want JT to be mad at me.
Just give me something I can carry so we can go.
Like the purse.
Can you hurry, please?
Hey, hold that better. Don't drop that, please.
Following his first appointment with the doctor, JT was asked to lose 150 pounds over the next 2 months. Unfortunately, by the time he was back at the hospital for his follow-up session with Dr. Now, he was nowhere close to what the doctor wanted.
We let you continue like you have been. So after we run our test, if there's nothing we need to address immediately, we may start you on a controlled diet here to help you with that, since you don't look to have lost much weight. 20 to 30 pounds at best. So your situation is very serious right now, because if your lymphedema gets infected, it's going to be very hard to treat it with an antibiotic, and it can get in the bloodstream. And at that point, you likely won't survive.
Since JT was bigger than most and had a BMI of 121, he was promptly admitted into the hospital. But there was only one problem. JT's girlfriend, Jessica, didn't want to be stuck in Houston doing nothing. And instead of JT understanding her point of view, he ended up throwing a tantrum.
Ain't gonna be easy. This is gonna be literally torture. And I'm definitely not gonna be easy to cope with during it.
Well, it comes off to me as you don't care, and it hurts.
Oh, because it's just one thing after another. When you get frustrated and mad, you just bolt. It's like, you wanna talk about a relationship?
If it's not gonna work, then what's the point?
Fine, then just go.
JT had just lost his girlfriend and enabler, yet some fans felt like he deserved it, with one saying, "The way he looked at Jessica when she was crying and talking about leaving was creepy." With his relationship officially over, JT quickly became a shadow of himself and lost all motivation to move forward in his weight loss journey.
It's been almost as miserable as the first month in the hospital. The only good thing has been there's just a little bit more freedom here.
This eventually got him a stern talk from Dr. Now.
How much you gonna lose a month?
I have no idea.
100 pounds.
Yeah, I did that last month like you said.
You should have done it again.
That's just according to you.
What do you mean? What are you trying to tell me?
My mental state, me not being in a mental state, being stressed out, makes me eat, makes me want to eat. That's me being here. I'm assuming that if I would've went back home, I'd have been losing that weight and we'd be having surgery and a completely different conversation this.
You're not making any sense. No matter you're in Houston or Oklahoma or Timbuktu.
At this point, JT didn't really care about his weight, yet Dr. Now refused to give up on him and proceeded to shut down JT's annoying attitude.
Nothing justified to be unhealthy and give me all that rhetoric that I didn't follow that because I wasn't planning to be in here.
Okay.
Really? I mean, this is your life. This is your health.
Okay.
And you are responsible for it, and we're giving you help and tools to change your life and be healthy, and you're making all kind of nonsense reason not to follow diet, right? Make sense?
Sure.
It does?
Yes.
To you?
Yes.
Okay. You gain the weight back and become immobile, then your health is going to go down the tube and you're not going to survive.
Of course, JT couldn't blame anyone but himself, and Dr. Now made sure he understood that.
You are responsible for your eating habit. You are responsible to improve your life and your health. Don't make those excuses that are acceptable to you to not follow the diet because the floor was crooked, the light was not good, the bed was not good, I was not finding me here, so I'm gonna kill myself with food.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Dr. Now's intervention actually got to JT, and he ended up losing 373 pounds since the start of his journey and getting approval for surgery to remove his lymphedema. Nonetheless, fans still remember JT for having an attitude problem during his journey, saying, JT was a bit of a smartass, one of those types who know they don't have a leg to stand on but maintain a bare-faced attitude of passive defiance in the face of helpful reasoning. While JT was able to change his ways and lose a tremendous amount of weight, it was a different story for this next star, whose disrespectful attitude eventually got her kicked off the show. Angela Johns first appeared in the 19th episode of the 7th season and weighed an enormous 643 pounds at the start of her journey. From the very beginning of her episode, it was evident that Angela was going to be a difficult patient.
And he jumps up, runs his mouth, comes out, says, I'm a You think that's normal? And I said, why don't you get a life?
He said, we're all doing this for you.
And we're all doing this for you, Angela. So he's not going to be living here.
After reaching out to Dr. Now and getting an appointment scheduled, Angela desperately wanted all her enablers to accompany her to Houston, including her husband, Justin, and her daughter, Desiree. This meant Desiree had to abandon everything, her young daughter, her boyfriend, and family, just to be with Angela at the hospital, something the young mother had a difficult time accepting.
So you want me to leave my boyfriend, move to Texas, and be okay with that?
Oh, here we go. Dramas.
Right, I mean, how am I being
But your
dramatic?
boyfriend's not going to be dramatic and call me a
And I haven't even got time to address anything. I've been...
Yeah, this is what I knew was going to happen.
Despite her resistance, Desiree eventually agreed to follow her mother. Unfortunately, this was just one of the many times Angela managed to get what she wanted at the expense of her loved ones. On their first journey down to Houston, Angela once again displayed her disrespectful attitude. This time, it was directed at her husband, Justin.
Hey, I'm going to Google for a store, and you're going to go to the store.
If it's not close, I'm not going.
What are we supposed to eat? What
The
are
store
you,
so I can
Einstein?
see how far it is and where I got to go.
No, it's your point of your attitude. You've had an attitude since we left home, and you can go back home and I have my brother come here. Believe that.
Ain't nobody had that. I just
And
went
get
to
your and go to your mama's house, because I'm sick of your attitude. I don't want you and I don't need you.
At the end of her first appointment with Dr. Now, she was given a relatively easy target: lose 50 pounds before her next appointment. As simple as it sounded, Angela just couldn't keep up with her diet when she went back home in Ohio, especially after she fell out with her husband just days before her appointment in Houston the very next month.
Justin is no longer here. We have separated. About a week ago, we got into an argument.
As a result, she missed the appointment with Dr. Now and slipped even further into her bad eating habits. By the 4th month of the journey, Angela had still not made it to Houston, forcing Dr. Now to reach out to her remotely.
I think that I'm doing okay, except I'm still drinking pop here and there.
But that's unacceptable. If you want to change your life, you're going to have to stick with the diet. Don't be wishy-washy about it. If you're wishy-washy about it, stay where you are. Don't come to Houston.
Okay.
Because you're playing games with me.
Dr. Now was clearly disappointed with her lack of motivation, but still gave her another chance. This time, he asked her to lose 100 pounds over the next 2 months, before she would be considered for weight loss surgery. As expected, Angela could not lose 100 pounds, losing only 45 pounds instead, and setting us up for one of the most brutal shutdowns ever delivered by Dr. Now.
You need to follow a better diet before we bring you to Houston, okay?
Instead of listening to what the doctor had to say, Angela remained defensive and continued arguing with the doctor.
Pounds every month for 6 months, I wouldn't need you.
What you seem to need is a calculator. Because losing 50 pounds a month for 6 months would have been weight loss goal of 300 pounds. And that's not what I asked you to do. But I did give you a goal of 100 pounds in 2 months, since you wasted the first 3 months, and you didn't even do that. So you can either give me more attitude or figure out whether you want to do this or not. Because if you don't, you're not going to be alive for much longer.
Okay.
After listening to Dr. Now specifically tell her there was no point coming to Houston if she didn't lose the required weight, Angela stubbornly made up her mind and relocated to Houston. So within days of her last conversation with the doctor over the phone, Angela was in Dr. Now's waiting room. After learning that she had only lost 9 pounds, now came the perfect opportunity to shut down her disrespect once and for all.
Done with your little tantrum and finish talking?
Sure.
All right. At your current rate, you're going to be dead in a year or less. Unless you make the changes you need. So you can give me every excuse and justification you want.
Frustrated and I'm angry, as you can see.
You can tell yourself that, but this is behavior problem.
Yeah.
It's not anger.
Yeah, I have a behavior problem.
Try to convince yourself it is an emotional issue that is fine. You like to act like the whole world is unfair and you don't deserve your situation. So you want to give me attitude and act like this is unfair. Go right ahead. But the only person you're gonna hurt is yourself. And that's what you're doing right now. Because you have had 8 months at this point. And you still haven't shown me enough to convince me that you're ready to do the program. But since you're down here in Houston, I'll give you one more chance. Why do you even want to do this?
I don't know. I don't know. So that's a good question.
All right, well, you think it's over, and once again, decide what you want to do.
Dr. Now was right. Angela refused to take responsibility for her actions. And although her husband was back at her side, she never lost the desired weight to qualify for surgery, and eventually, she quit the program.
And I lost weight, a lot of weight. And I don't need to put up with this anymore. So I'm done. My life was depending on this, but that didn't seem to matter much to Dr. Now. So I think it's time for me to just go back to Ohio, because at this point, unless Dr. Now apologized for all his accusations, then I don't see how I can work with him. But I didn't lower myself to respond to any of the heinous things that Dr. Now said to me at any point. So
Angela's poor attitude and clear delusion had gotten the better of her, and she had also managed to piss a lot of viewers off. This was her behavior in front of the camera crew. Abusive, deceitful, foul. She was an awful person, terrible wife and mother, extremely toxic to everyone. However, it wasn't just Angela, because another My 600 Pound Life star that pissed fans off with her argumentative attitude was Pauline Potter. Weighing a whopping 673 pounds, Pauline made her on-screen debut in the 7th episode of the 3rd season, and despite still being able to walk, she hated doing it and preferred to move around in her motorized wheelchair.
Come on, Dilly. You have tamales today? Yeah. Okay, good. 4 pork, please.
I enjoy everything about food.
See these tongs, honey? What I want you to do is I want you to use the tongs and take the top one off and get me the bottom underneath because it'll be fresher.
By the time she reached out to Dr. Now for assistance, Pauline relied heavily on her son to transport her to Houston, and after getting her weight loss target from the doctor, she appeared more determined than ever to change her life around. Unfortunately, looks can be deceiving. She struggled with small tasks, refused to move much, and continued making excuses for why she wasn't following the program.
Prayed for something to save my life, and I don't know what will.
And by the time she returned to Dr. Now for her follow-up appointment, she had gained even more weight, terribly disappointing the doctor in the process.
I haven't done a lot of activity in the last week because my stomach hurts.
I don't think you're getting how serious this situation is. Pauline, you gained weight and you're getting to be 700 pounds. Things need to be changed now.
Even though Pauline did not realize just how deathly her situation was, Dr. Now decided to admit her to the hospital so he could closely monitor her and control her eating habits. After spending a month in the hospital, Pauline managed to shed enough weight to qualify for gastric bypass surgery. Yet Dr. Now had another problem to contend with.
If you don't walk, you're gonna develop blood clot in the leg and we're gonna have a problem with it.
Well, I pulled a muscle in my stomach.
And no excuse.
I know, you always think it's an excuse, but if it's hurting me, it's there.
But it's hurting you doesn't mean that you should stay in the bed.
I'm only on day 5 of a really big surgery.
Everybody goes home on day 2. You're making excuses that are not acceptable. I want to see walking outside of this room and walk back, okay?
I can't do it that fast.
Okay, we gotta be
It's
slow
gonna
with you.
take a while.
All right, here comes the tear again.
I
okay?
know, because you can't expect it that fast out of me.
You're gonna be mobile and you're gonna get up and move.
Pauline's fear of walking was borderline delusional, to the point that she eventually landed in the emergency room, just as Dr. Now had predicted. And now she had to have an air filter inserted into her leg to prevent a blood clot. But even after all this, she was still not taking the program seriously, and her behavior continued to put her health at risk.
Pauline is a very self-destructive person, and she doesn't seem to want to change that. Ultimately, you cannot make the choice for her. No matter how much we help.
Eventually, Dr. Now was satisfied with her recovery post-surgery, and he sent her home so she could recover on her own. And over the course of time, Pauline had lost a total of 136 pounds and now needed to maintain her diet and exercise frequently if she really wanted to change her life for the better. To no one's surprise, Pauline found it difficult adapting to her newfound reality. Although she was mobile and didn't need her mechanized wheelchair anymore, she also didn't seem to care.
The doctor can't tell me what's good for me because I know my body. The pool is much safer than the physical therapist pushing me to do more than I should.
She went everywhere with it and even drove it to her last appointment with Dr. Now. Of course, he had a lot to say about it.
Well, why can't you get up from there and walk
my
with this
wheelchair
kid?
is-
Leave this monster in the waiting room.
Hey, what's the matter?
The way that you're sitting here after surgery and you want to roll with this thing instead of
The
walking?
only reason I have this chair is because I can't walk that far without getting dizzy.
Like every other patient on this list, Pauline refused to understand what the doctor was saying and remained defiant, forcing him to tell her as it is.
The only weight you have lost is been when we put you in hospital. You should have lost 30 pounds since last time I saw you. You're not losing any meaningful weight, but this is not working for you.
This is bull.
Of course, Pauline continued making excuses. She never stopped binge eating and also refused any sort of physical therapy. Yet she continued to lie about everything and blamed everyone but herself.
Specifically told you that they were going to do this physical therapy.
They did not say the words physical therapy because after you told me that, I've been waiting for their call.
You always have certain excuses,
Because
but
it's
none
true,
of them
it's
make
not
any
an
sense.
excuse. I'm not trying to skip the program or, not listen to your rules.
You start taking responsibility for your situation.
It wasn't just Dr. Now that was upset by her behavior. Her nonchalance and refusal to walk irked quite a number of viewers, with one writing, "I really dislike this woman. I wish the doctor had her personally reviewed before he did the surgery. I hate to see ungrateful people get the chance and not do anything with a gift." Even at the end of her episode, Pauline remained disrespectful and delusional, ultimately hindering her recovery as a result. Just like the next star, who despite getting the help he wanted, continued to be disrespectful and needed to be shut down. Lee Sutton made his appearance in the first episode of the 6th season, weighing a staggering 714 pounds. Lee's episode was a bit different. He was living with his girlfriend Rena Kaiser, and since Lee was significantly bigger than Rena, she was left to take care of him while also taking care of herself, and the toll was starting to show on her.
Hard to get both of our chairs loaded up for us. But if I don't, there's no way I could walk through a store now.
After preparing for about a week, it was finally time for their first appointment with Dr. Now, and from their very first conversation, it became evident that Lee was going to be a rather delusional patient.
I'm pretty active. I can walk 20, 30 feet with these canes pretty good.
If you think that's pretty active, then you're a little delusional about that.
After struggling for weeks, Lee eventually got his weight loss surgery, but his success was quickly followed by an irrationally irritating behavior that quickly cut through his relationship and left Rena devastated.
There is nothing to drive a person to physical abuse. You have an anger problem. You have a violent problem. Your head has a problem.
Doesn't matter anymore. We are never, ever going to see eye to eye. Or what?
Been with him 11 years and he'd never been violent.
The way Lee treated Rena did not sit well with viewers, and they were quick to share their opinion online. I can't stand Lee at all. Rena really deserves better. He is really a big piece of shit, and Rena really needs to break free. However, it wasn't just fans around the world who found Lee unbearable. During the next appointment with Dr. Now, Lee refused to take accountability for his actions and even got into a shouting match with the doctor.
What is going on with you?
I guess I'm eating the wrong things.
You think it's funny? You have a gastric bypass.
I had a gastric bypass,
to
yes.
lose weight.
To lose weight.
And you're not losing weight.
I don't eat a third what I ate
just
before I
answer
had
the
that
question,
surgery.
okay? Then
You're
we're not
asking
talking
me
about
questions that I don't understand no more than you understand.
What are you talking about? You're choosing to eat and you think it's okay?
No, I don't think it's okay at all.
So what is going on?
I guess I'm not eating the right things. I mean...
We gave you the instruction that you need to follow, and you're not following. You play your cards right until you got the surgery. And now you're playing this kind of game, and you think that's okay? How in the world somebody...
I don't see how I'm playing any game. I throw up constantly. I eat what I can keep down.
That's how it works. You throw up constantly because the surgery forces you to when you overeat now.
I think my problem is I'm holding a lot of fluid. I can't hardly pee.
Really?
Lee's reluctance to accept his responsibility in all of this really made the doctor angry, and he needed Lee to know just how disappointed he was.
I don't know what, I mean, you...
What do you mean you don't know? And you think that you're not eating and you're getting...
I don't want to get malnourished either.
Do you look like you're malnourished? You're overeating, and whatever you're overeating, you're throwing up. It means the surgery is working to hold you back when you make bad choices. And it's the only reason that you didn't gain 100 pounds these past 2 months. You have been given a tool to help you change your life.
Instead of listening to what the doctor had to say, Lee remained defensive and would even do one of the most disrespectful actions ever seen on the show.
No, we're not finishing with me. You're making me mad.
You sit down right there. You sit down right over there.
No,
Please, sit down.
Okay.
Let go of me, Renee.
All right, this is completely unacceptable. Lee's behavior right now is very alarming.
And fans remember him for this exact disrespectful attitude towards Dr. Now and how the doctor expertly shut him down. Lee seemed nice at first, then as the episode went on, his true colors came out. Some even shared their frustration with such a grown man behaving so immature, saying, "It really pissed me off the way Lee pushed through Dr. Now to get out of the office when he got angry. He's a big baby." Just like Pauline Potter, this next My 600 Pound Life star felt she could disrespect the doctor and get away with it. Kalisha McMillan made her on-screen debut in the 12th episode of the 8th season and had one of the most disheartening backstories on the show.
Bigger I was. By the time I was 7, I was about 100 to 110. And how I was eating, that just got worse. Because when I was 8, my biological father still got to take me and my brother for visits on some weekends. Well, in the midst of another visit with him, one of my cousins, he was 19, and he molested me. Thank God he didn't rape me, but he didn't have time to. I tried to tell everyone, and nobody believed me. But after that happened to me, all I cared about was eating and being left alone, so I kept gaining.
By the time she appeared before Dr. Now for her first appointment, Kalisha weighed in at approximately 643 pounds. However, it was clear that Kalisha had developed not only an unhealthy eating habit, but also an attitude towards people.
No, she didn't force me. I fuss at it. Like, if she don't give me what I want, I'll go get it. Like, that's what I do.
So what does your eating habit look like?
Well, I'm quitting. I'm in the process of quitting. Like, I have a patch. I got my nicotine patches, and so...
What do you mean you're quitting?
Like, I'm quitting.
Okay, you're here to be healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, my suggestion is you want to be healthy. You stop smoking. quit the patches because they're equally as bad as smoking.
At the end of the appointment, Dr. Now asked her to lose 50 pounds over the next month, quit smoking, and maintain his 1,200 calorie diet, since there was a risk she could suffer a heart attack at any time. Despite the doctor's warnings, Kalisa failed to meet her target by the end of the first month, losing only 27 pounds, but somehow still refused to take responsibility.
If I made it to the 50-pound goal today, that means I'll be under 593.
616.
I just don't understand how it didn't lose more. I worked so hard, and I'm just really, really disappointed right now.
And as expected, this answer only got her shut down by Dr. Now.
First off, it's 1,200 calories, so you're not listening to what I'm saying or reading what we gave you. Second, you may have made some changes you need, but what does it matter if you made changes if it's not enough to save your life?
I don't understand what I did wrong because I really did.
Okay, you don't understand what you did wrong, but let's help you to understand it instead of crying and throwing a tantrum. But you are 600 pounds.
Still, Dr. Now gave her another chance to prove she really wanted to change her life, but Kalisa still found it difficult to meet her targets, eating at every opportunity. Even after moving down to Houston to be closer to Dr. Now, she only lost 25 pounds by their next appointment, making the doctor very angry.
And you didn't even get halfway to where you needed. So that's not good at all.
But Dr. Now, I can do things like for myself. I can wipe myself now. You know, I mean, my steering wheel don't touch my belly anymore. I mean, I was expecting to have lost a lot more weight than what I did.
Yeah, you've lost 53 pounds from the beginning, but you're losing almost half of what you should lose. And on top of that, you told me you quit smoking in a patch. But your last blood test shows that's not exactly true. So tell me, you still smoking?
Dr. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did good all the way up until yesterday.
Kalisa, just pay attention.
Kalisa was clearly playing games, hoping that she would somehow get the surgery she wanted without putting in the work, a thought that Dr. Now had to put an end to.
Is a heart attack or your life?
I don't want either, but I'm crazy. If I go crazy, then I'm gonna be in a mental institute.
Okay, just stop.
I know you, Dr.
Just pay attention, just look at me. Okay, don't look at the wall, just look at me, okay? You can already have coronary artery disease, and nicotine is the worst drug you can use.
Okay.
Okay? So this is not for us, it's for you. Okay? You follow what we tell you, you can...
Despite the doctor's warnings and repeated shutdown, Kalisa did not quit smoking and continued eating whatever she wanted. So it didn't surprise anyone when she began feeling severe pain in her abdomen and called Dr. Now for help.
But I'm back at Dr. Now's early because he wants to run some tests on me. For the last couple of weeks, I haven't been feeling good, and I've had sharp stomach pains. And I haven't been able to use the restroom the whole time. So I called Dr. Now and told him, and he...
It turned out her overeating had caused an old scar from a C-section to open up. It had been nearly 3 months since Kalisa began her weight loss journey, and yet she was nowhere close to her target. And as a result, she was admitted for close monitoring.
A lot of stuff that won't digest that well, like carbs.
I'm not. I promise, Dr. Now.
Come on, Kalisa. It's been 3 months and you still haven't lost enough weight with your diet. And you have a bad heart, bad coronary. And if you have to do surgery on you, I can lose.
I'm trying my hardest and I haven't eaten much in 3 months now.
Well, let me make it clear with you. For your height and your body, you have eaten the food that belongs the next 4 years ahead of time. So if you don't eat for 4 years, you're gonna come even. And all that extra calories is stored in the form of fat.
After spending 3 weeks at the hospital, Kalisa finally started losing some weight, to the point that the doctor ultimately approved her surgery. But it wasn't just her weight loss that influenced his decision. Kalisa was living on borrowed time. Doctor
in hospital for 3 weeks on a controlled diet, and we got her weight down another 64 pounds. So she's down to 526 now. and it was enough to get her heart strong enough for cardiology to clear her for surgery. Okay, starting the first incision.
Now's decision to do the surgery came as a shock to some viewers, while others knew just how delicate her situation was. Khaleesi's heart condition allowed her to game the system. She didn't have to do any work, and she still got to have the surgery. I hope she realizes how lucky she is. The surgery was a success, and by her next appointment, she weighed approximately 499 pounds. Unfortunately, her new lease on life didn't last long, and she soon suffered complications from the surgery. She became septic, was put on a ventilator for 2 weeks, and was in a medically induced coma. Although Khaleesi survived the scare, she had health problems from her surgery, and it ultimately ended her life in the middle of filming the episode. Although fans were devastated by the unprecedented demise of one of the show's stars, she was still remembered for her initial disrespect. I'm mad she got surgery. She was awful. Much like the next star, who was rude to almost everyone who crossed her path. Lacey Buckingham appeared on the 5th episode of the 10th season, and although she suffered from severe physical pain, breathing issues, and a history of emotional trauma, she shocked many fans with how far she was willing to exploit her body for money.
When I was 26, I found a group of people on the internet who are part of what's called feederism. Feederism is when, on the internet, girls make money from getting men to give them money for food and them eating it on the camera. It wasn't hard for me to find men on the internet who wanted to take care of me, and all I had to do was film myself eating as part of the deal.
As a result, Lacey ballooned to almost 600 pounds and had to depend on her boyfriend Ricky for emotional and physical support.
She has a weight problem, doesn't bother me.
However, with the support of her boyfriend, Lacey reached out to Dr. Now for help. And after a difficult journey of constantly eating and fighting with her boyfriend's sister Sharon, Lacey finally made it to Houston, just in time to show everyone how bad her situation really was.
Then why haven't you already tried to do something if you want a productive life and to change things?
I've tried, I guess. I don't know,
All right, look at your chart. You are taking almost about 30 medications
Yes.
a day. And you have high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, thyroid problem, and reflux, neuropathy, lymphedema, migraine, and the list goes on and on.
and on and on.
So it's clear.
Lacey couldn't afford to continue down this path of unhealthy eating, and the doctor had made that perfectly clear. He even challenged her to lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months, a relatively easy task, but one she would have to surmount if she was going to qualify for weight loss surgery. Surprisingly, by the end of the 2nd month, Lacey still hadn't returned to Houston for her follow-up appointment, prompting Dr. Now to call her instead.
Well, I do have some issues to deal with, and I had to prepare mentally and physically to move before I moved down there.
Well, Lacey, if you haven't lost any weight, then there's no point to move to Houston. They're not moving ahead with you. So you have to check your weight to see that before you move here. You understand that?
I understand completely.
Lacey had obviously not been sticking to her diet and was willing to use anything as an excuse for lack of motivation. At the end of the call, Dr. Now reminded her that he wanted her to lose at least 100 pounds before coming to Houston for their next appointment, especially since the journey tends to put immense strain on her body. His warnings fell on deaf ears, and without losing the required weight, Lacey began looking for new apartments in Houston so she could be closer to the doctor, although Dr. Now did not appreciate the gesture.
But you figure that out, where you're going to live, where you're going to be. But if you want to continue with the program, then it won't matter if you're living down here. Because then you're living down here. Then it won't matter if you're living down here. Not moving ahead with then you're living down here. Because we're not moving ahead with you until you do that. So, you have the guidance that we give you, and you have to use that. And if you don't follow that, there's nothing we can do to change that, okay?
Yes.
So stick with healthy eating habit, read the stuff we gave you.
The thing is, Lacey's journey down to Houston had taken a turn for the worse. She had gotten into a fight with Sharon, and that fight somehow spiraled out of control, and ended with Ricky dumping her mid-journey.
And don't say nothing to me. You lucky the police are here. Okay, and I'm halfway across the country. You just praise God that right now I can control my composure.
I made a promise to God to take care of you. I never broke it. Why would it hurt you?
You wouldn't hurt me, Sharon.
Despite this, fans weren't very sympathetic to the My 600-Pound star and quickly blamed her for everything that happened. Lacey's very good at setting herself up as the victim in every situation. Lacey was one of those patients who thought the weight would miraculously fall off in Houston. She wanted to get there, play house, continue eating bacon cooked in butter, and offer no evidence to Dr. Nowzaradan that she was, I don't know, following his program, losing weight, or eligible for the surgery. However, Lacey isn't the only disrespectful or manipulative star from the show who's been put in her place. Louisiana's own LaShonta White appeared in the 16th episode of the 7th season and weighed almost 700 pounds. She had to depend on her boyfriend JT a lot, especially because she was practically bedridden.
I can't even go to the bathroom on my own anymore. The best I could do is scoot to the end of my bed and use a bowl that my boyfriend JT brings me. Thank you. And then he comes and takes it to dispose of it.
JT wasn't just responsible for cleaning up after her. He also had to wash her and care for her every need right there in that bed. The only thing she didn't need him for was food, because LaShonta could do all that on her own, although some fans found her setup very irritating. The worst is making food in your bed. Imagine having a toilet in your kitchen or stove in your bathroom. Eventually, LaShonta reached out to Dr. Now, hoping to take control of her unhealthy eating habits, and was down in Houston for her first appointment with the doctor.
Continue eating and making your situation worse all these years. Why is that?
I don't know. I be wanting when I want it.
So if
I
you
be
keep
hungry.
doing that, you're not gonna live too long. You know that, right? But you don't believe it.
You know how you get something in your head and it go out of one ear and it go out the other.
So what you're telling me is, you know the food is gonna kill you soon, but you're ignoring that fact and you refuse to change your behavior. So then why are you here?
LaShonta didn't seem to realize just how delicate her situation was, but she had made the decision to lose weight and get weight loss surgery. So Dr. Now gave her his usual preliminary challenge, which was supposed to be easy. But that wasn't the case for LaShonta, who continued eating whatever she liked, to the point of hiding a piece of chicken under her blanket for later. As a result, by her next appointment, she hadn't lost any weight, and by the 3rd month of her journey, she had still not gone to Houston for a follow-up, forcing Dr. Now to call her and let her know that she needed to improve.
I've been cheating.
What happened to all the positivity about turning your life around and telling me you're ready to do whatever it takes?
I don't know. It's just been a lot harder than I thought.
So what? Does that mean that you should just give up on your health and your life?
No, I don't think that.
Okay then, it is time to start taking responsibility.
Despite Dr. Now's advice and demand that she'd lose 50 pounds every month, LaShonta continued to eat whatever she liked, and she weighed 689 pounds by the time she made it to Houston for her next appointment. Of course, LaShonta remained delusional, and when pressed about who was enabling her, she shocked everyone with her revelation.
I've been trying, but it's been kind of slim.
Well, if you still can't get up and your boyfriend is gone, who's bringing you food?
The man across the street, my neighbor.
To kill you or what?
And he always calling me. LaShonta, you want me to go to the store for you?
LaShonta, don't waste your breath with some game.
Her antics only annoyed the doctor even further, and he would deliver some much-needed reality checks.
Pretend your neighbor is forcing you to eat. You find another person to manipulate into enabling you. So you're the one doing it. So when are you gonna stop?
I'm gonna stop eating the food, Dr. Now.
When? It's been 6 months we've seen you and you haven't made any effort to lose any weight.
Playtime over.
You said that last time, and you keep saying that, but you gained. So this is all just a game to you. When you try to manipulate everyone to do what you want. And you think that includes me, and it doesn't. You have to prove to me what you're saying.
Dr. Now wasn't falling for her games. He knew LaShanta knew exactly what she was doing and needed to let her know how dire her situation was.
You don't start to do what you need now, you're not going to be alive much longer. No matter what we do, if nothing's going to change.
I'm gonna do it this time, I promise.
When you told me that several times.
Well, no, I'm serious, Dr. No, I'm
Stop
serious.
telling me and start showing me. That's it. And just because you come down here doesn't mean that you're going to have weight loss surgery. Okay? Because so far you haven't done anything on your part. And you expect us to make you lose weight.
Watch, I'm gonna do my part this time. You gonna see.
Okay.
It was almost as if all he'd been saying was for nothing. After staying at the hospital for a month, LaShanta was down to 579 pounds. But as soon as she was discharged and sent home, she resumed her unhealthy eating habits. And as expected, by the time she came in for her follow-up session with Dr. Now, she had only lost 3 pounds instead of the 50 the doctor asked her to lose. Of course, Dr. Now was going to let her know just how disappointed he was.
And keep saying, I'm going to do it, give me the chance. We've given you every chance possible now. And you got to kill yourself with the food. And there's nothing we can do to stop you from that. You keep promising and looking for another chance. This is all just a game to you, and you ran out of time. You've had the chance to do this for 9 months now, but instead you keep lying to yourself and keep lying to me. So at this point, all the evidence is telling me that you're never gonna lose the weight.
I am gonna lose the weight, Dr. Now.
What do you mean?
I'm not about to come. I ain't come down here for nothing.
Yes, you did. You come down here for nothing. Because you think you can do the same thing here that you did back home. Nothing is different with you except your location. So you made your choice. And your choice is to kill yourself with food.
Give me one more chance.
No, we gave you all the chance you need. There's nothing we can do.
You could give me one more chance.
Seeing that Dr. Now wasn't falling for her games, LaShanta decided a change in strategy was needed. However, Dr. Now wasn't in the mood for any more of her fake promises.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna show you. The one more. The one on me right now.
I'm not shutting it. You are.
I'm gonna lose the weight. Give me one more month.
No. I don't believe a word you say because you keep lying and keep lying yourself. And there's nothing more I can do for you.
I can't go home like this. I can't go home like this. Like it's over? No, I can't do this. You gotta give me 1 month. You gotta give me 1 month to lose the weight. I can't go home and tell my children that it's over. I can't go home and tell my mama that it's over. I can't. You gotta give me 1 more month. I'm asking you. Give me 1 more month.
You've had 9 already.
I don't want to be kicked out the program.
You never started the program.
Unfortunately, all that yelling wasn't going to change Dr. Now's mind. He knew LaShanta didn't have the right motivation and proceeded to kick her out of the program until she actually decided to put in the work.
But we're going to do some tests and make sure that there is nothing wrong with you that is life-threatening to you. And if all those tests are negative, we're going to send you home. And then don't call me again unless you hit your goal. But so far...
No, I'm not going home. I'm staying here.
That choice isn't up to you. Changing your eating habit is, but not that one. So you take care of LaShanta and good luck.
Watch, I'm gonna show you.
In the end, LaShanta did not get weight loss surgery during her episode. Just a whole lot of reality checks and much needed shutdown. A lot like this next star, who repeatedly refused to comply with medical advice despite being bedridden. Penny Seeger made her on-screen debut in the 3rd episode of the 2nd season, weighing approximately 530 pounds. Since she was bedridden, she depended on her husband, Edgar, and her young son, Liam, for most things.
When you become as heavy as I have, it's hard. It's real hard. Sometimes it feels like I'm dead. I cannot do the things that normal people take for granted, like walking to the bathroom. This is my bed.
She eventually sought Dr. Now's assistance and wasted no time getting to Houston for her next appointment, which ultimately led her to be admitted to the hospital so her unhealthy eating habits could be managed.
At this point, the only thing I have left to do is either lose weight or lose my life. I have nothing else. There's nothing else. If I don't take this route now, I won't see my son start middle school. There's no way that that's going to happen.
Within the first month of her program, Penny had lost enough weight for gastric sleeve surgery, a procedure that removes 80% of her stomach and restricts the amount of food she eats. And following the successful surgery, Dr. Now had hoped that Penny was now on a healthier path. But to his disappointment, days after the surgery, Penny became perpetually tired, refused to walk or do any exercise, and just frustrated the doctor and his staff to no end.
Sure you don't want to sit up, or if I can walk, there is true miracles in the world. That's like having piano surgery on your hand. Doc, can I play piano now? Oh, I've done a great job. Sure you can play piano. That's great because I couldn't before surgery.
If she doesn't get up and walk, she's not going to be able to maintain weight loss.
He was right to be worried because her lack of motivation only worsened over the coming months, and despite staying in the hospital following her surgery, Penny did not lose any weight. Instead, she spent the entire third month of her journey arguing with staff and refusing to do any exercise.
Can I get a pudding? And dinner?
Yeah, it's your dinner time.
She does have a diet. Bariatric soft, 1,200 calories. What is it? Bariatric soft diet, 1,200 calories. Why am I on a soft diet? That's the orders that he needs to get his poop in a group, or else I'm gonna order something.
This is so stupid.
I gotta find out why my diet is this diet. No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
At this point, Dr. Now believed that she needed a change of environment and ultimately sent her home, only for her to start eating heavily again. As a result, Penny had refused to see the doctor in the 3 months following her surgery for obvious reasons. But in the 7th month, he asked her to come in for a checkup. Dr. Now believed Penny had stopped following her diet and may have actually gained weight. And he was right. Penny hadn't lost any weight and instead gained an extra 5 pounds, which was far from the 50-pound weight loss goal that was set by Dr. Now. And he didn't hesitate to let her know just how disappointed he was.
Wait, you gained weight since the surgery, okay? You should be right now walking. You should be around 250 pounds.
I feel that the scales were wrong in the beginning and that I weighed more than what that was. I've been putting it all out there.
Look, Penny, quit crying because this is for your benefit, okay?
Crying in front of the doctor was not what anyone wanted to see, especially not Dr. Now. He knew Penny didn't understand just how much danger she was in and needed to shut down all of her misconceptions.
The death certificate, and later on I thought, what could I have done to get across to them? And I'm not getting across to you either.
There has been change. Look, I mean, it's hanging off my shoulder.
You just trying to convince yourself, okay? Whatever
So
you say.
you can't convince yourself that your sleeves come past your hands now, and they never did that.
Penny.
I can reach my vagina and clean it myself. I couldn't do that 6 months ago.
What you're saying it really make no sense, okay?
Then I'm going to have to just go home where I can try and get something else.
I don't think this conversation is getting anywhere.
It didn't matter what Dr. Now said. He just couldn't get through to Penny. That being said, some fans believe Penny knew exactly what she was doing. I felt so sorry for the husband, to be honest. It seemed pretty clear to me that she was somewhat manipulative. Penny eventually quit the program, returned to Maryland, and refused to continue therapy or follow up. In the end, Penny didn't put in nearly enough effort to get her life back on track, constantly picked on hospital staff, and needed a harsh reality check from the doctor. As for this next My 600 Pound star, he would lose his life after refusing to listen to Dr. Now's warnings. Making his on-screen debut in the 11th episode of the 5th season, James King remains one of the largest patients ever featured on the series. Weighing a staggering 735 pounds, James was also bedridden and completely dependent on his girlfriend Lisa for absolutely everything.
James cannot take care of himself at all. He cannot bathe himself. He cannot use the restroom. He has to wear a catheter. And it breaks my heart to see that James is trapped in a bed and can't do the things that he loves to do.
James eventually reached out to Dr. Now, but it would take him almost a month to make his appointment. During that time, Dr. Now charged him with losing weight even before their meeting. But as expected, James kept eating and arrived at the hospital overweight and still deep into his unhealthy eating habits, forcing the doctor to lash out almost immediately.
James is not going to survive much longer. And since I've been working with you two, he's not lost any weight and he's worse off now.
We're gonna just have to stick to the plan of making the change of going to the
There is no
protein
we,
and the
it's
pro-
you.
Well,
There's no we, it's you.
Right.
You are bringing the food, you're helping him to kill him. So why are you doing that?
Because if I don't bring it to him, I will pay hell all the rest of the day.
How the hell is he gonna raise the hell in the bed?
If we don't give him what
He
he
can
wants,
scream all he wants to. Don't tell me that. You are the one that you got him in this bed, and you're the one making his life miserable right now.
James obviously could be left in the hands of his willing enabler. The only problem was that he seemed to be oblivious to just how bad things were getting.
Now, if he did last time I talked to you, change his diet, it doesn't look like he lost any weight. Is this a lifestyle of a human being? This is a miserable lifestyle. And you got him into this shape, and you blaming everybody and him.
I'm not blaming everybody. I'm not blaming him.
Look,
and
if you all don't change the diet right now, he's gonna go back to Kentucky. I'm not gonna take care of him.
I have brought him the food, but I didn't get him in that.
It wasn't just Dr. Now that had deduced the problem. Some viewers had seen through the entire situation and began calling Lisa out. She keeps feeding enough food for 20 people. I'm sorry to say this, but if he dies, it's Lisa's fault. She fed him to death. However, James himself remained defiant, even when the doctor confronted him on his lack of motivation.
Scream, yell.
You usually argue with her?
That's all.
Well, I get mad.
What are you coming to Houston for? We don't have a miracle for you. I talked to you, I talked to her, and what I see here, this is not a weight loss.
I just talked to you for the first time. I think, what, 4 months ago?
4 months is enough to lose 100 pounds, to get under 600 pounds.
Really?
Yes. You know, there's not much we can do for you. Medically, no, surgically. You need to change, and she needs to stop bringing you food.
I have to eat something.
No, you don't have to eat something. You have eaten 800 pounds of food in you.
Dr. Now was right, but it didn't matter because James did not stop eating. The doctor wanted him to lose 135 pounds over the next 2 months, but due to his continuous eating, he suffered a medical emergency and had to be rushed to the hospital.
James had congestive heart failure, which was fluid around his lungs and heart. She's just taking out the stitches right now. Oh. So they had to put a central line in his artery in his throat to get the meds to him fast.
Now take a deep breath.
No.
So, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Am I gonna bleed out?
No. But he is feeling much better now, and he's ready to go home.
Following the scare, James completely lost all motivation, and Lisa was more than happy to give him all the food he wanted, both of them completely disregarding Dr. Now's concerns. So it didn't come as a surprise when, by the 8th month of his weight loss journey, instead of losing the weight the doctor had asked of him, James had put on another 158 pounds, almost as if he wasn't aware of the damage he was doing to his body. However, just as everyone expected, Dr. Now was disappointed in his weight gain.
Food in? Doesn't matter what you say, okay? The scale is going to tell me what I need to know. Right. And what you tell me is not the reality about his eating habit, because that doesn't make any sense. Things are so bad that really, if you continue like that, I don't think you're going to live to the end of year.
Dr. Now suspected that James wasn't sticking to his diet, and he was right. But instead of accepting his reality, James began lashing out and blaming everyone, including Dr. Now. Dr. Now was right again. James was being ridiculous, and there was no way the doctor was going to stand there and take any further disrespect.
Nobody else can follow him except you.
I had to retrain my body from eating cheeseburgers.
You gained 100 pounds and you're saying it's not your fault? You needed to retrain your body? Seriously? You're eating yourself to death, and you don't want to quit that. It's your responsibility, nobody else's responsibility. Nobody else is in here. You got your... You can't gain over 100 pounds by cheating just a little. You've been eating almost 10,000 calories a day. That's almost 13 times of what you should be eating in a day. I mean, this is just mind-boggling. Why won't you stop overfeeding him?
Despite the doctor's best effort, James couldn't get his act together and was eventually kicked off the show. And the ultimate result of his negligence caught up to him in 2020. James passed away after several different past battles with his health, including sepsis and cirrhosis of the liver. His death was met with palpable anger as viewers were upset with him and his failure to turn his life around. James K. was an objectively horrible person, and nothing of value was lost when he died. But they were also mad at Lisa, saying, "Looks like his girlfriend succeeded with what she was trying to do and killed him." James' behavior had enraged fans endlessly. He shot back at Dr. Now during his sessions, refused to stop eating, and needed to shut down multiple times.